Hey guys, what's up? It's JB Smash here, and today I'm joined by my friend and special guest, Legend. We're actually going to talk about a very controversial topic today, and that is Ridley. Uh, as you all know, Ridley was not in my top 25 characters, so I do not think Ridley's going to be in the game. Um, but we're briefly going to go over just a little bit about his size, kind of some teases that he's been in the game, and if he were in the game, some moves that he would possibly have. Typically, how this is going to work, I'm going to let Legend go ahead and give uh, his view, and then I'm going to debate it back. So when this is all said and done, we're going to let you all decide kind of what you all think. Do you all think if Ridley's going to be in the game or not going to be in the game? So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Legend now and kind of let him introduce himself and give his points of view.
Hey guys, Cloledge, that's my channel name. And what I think about really, I personally think that he will be in the game. And I want to start off like with the big subject of him on his size and stuff. So I do know like he's a huge pterodactyl. And a lot of people bring up about Bowser, how he's changed sizes over the game, which I don't really put to a factor because Bowser's kind of had the same size for a little bit. So like when people see him as that size, people don't really complain that he's too small or something. So I know people also say that like, in the original Metroid game, Ridley was like barely taller than Samus, but I also don't put that in a factor because like the limits of the console back then weren't that good, so that was probably like the biggest they can put him. Because then after that, like he's been a huge after like that console. So, but I want to say I do think he can fit. What I would think he would look like is I think he'd be maybe a little tall. I can't think who's taller, Gandorf or Bowser. But I think that he's gonna be a little bit taller than them, maybe at like same size as Charizard or a little bit taller. I think he'll be hunched over, like his neck would be hunched over, like his mouth would be leaning down. But I can see this happening just because like he's been a wanted character for a long time, ever since Melee, and even in Melee, he was in Melee and he wasn't like huge, like he wasn't that taller than Samus until like Brawl, where he was the biggest he's ever been in a game. So I think like he can totally fit. Like if like Sakurai wants something, he can totally do it. Like there's no like I don't think people would complain to be playing as a flying purple pterodactyl robot pirate. But yeah, I can totally see him fitting just like maybe like probably maybe the tallest character in the game. But he's a giant pterodactyl. I don't think anybody would complain. But well, people would complain because people complain about everything. But I think you guys know what I mean.
Right. Well, but this is how I'm looking at it. Let's say Ridley were to fall off the edge on Final Destination stage. Here's his huge hand, just grasping on. He's gonna be bigger than the stage its whole self, long ways. So his tail is almost gonna be in the zone where you die. It's just to me, it just doesn't fit. I really think if he were going to be in the game, he'll be a stage hazard. But yeah, I just can't see him with how big he is. Even in the Metroid games, other than like we said in the first game, he's always been big. And yeah, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, that may have been his biggest form yet. But I feel like they've already established that size. And sure, they can tone him down a little bit, but as a size and as a boss, I don't see them switching all of a sudden and say, well, this is how really big he is. And, because even if his form from Brawl was hunched over, he'd still be huge. I think just power-wise, strength, speed, and like flying ability, I think it would almost be unfair to have him. Let's say Jigglypuff's in the game. You're telling me Jigglypuff is going to KO Ridley? It just doesn't work. Then again, I don't really see Jigglypuff KOing Bowser in the real world, but it happens. So, but that's pretty much size wise. I think he's way too big, and I can't see him I can't really see them toning him down so much because even if they did tone him down, I think he would just look weird. I don't really think uh, they could give him a lot of good qualities. I think he would really look just kind of deformed and yeah, I don't know. But
But
anyway,
like for Olimar, he was like, what is he like in his game? Like an inch or like a centimeter or
some
something like really
centimeters,
small.
inches, yeah.
But he, like they made him bigger. They made him a lot bigger, obviously, and he looks well. Like they can totally just like shrink his lengthwise, like easy. Like I don't know, just it's I can picture it in my head. Just maybe because I've seen a bunch of like versions of Ridley like in Brawl or something that people hacked him in there. He looks perfectly fine, so I think he could fit in there.
Maybe, maybe. But what were the teases you were talking about? I'm trying to figure
Oh
out.
yeah, okay. For the teases, like especially for the teases, I don't think it wouldn't be right to not put him in because he is a really popular character that like people really want him to see. People like really want to be in Smash Brothers, like as a newcomer, a playable character. But there's been like a bunch of teases. I don't think Sakurai would just like tease this him so much that not even put him in it, like only as a boss. Like to me, I think you would rather want to be a playable character than a boss. I think a boss, like even though his name's like a bot, even like they're bosses, I think like it would be better to be a playable character in my opinion. Like if Mewtwo was a boss, I think people would get really upset because it would kind of be like a not an improve. I forgot the word. Like not an improvement because like he was a character, but now he's just a boss. To me, like it's a that's not that good. But for the teases, like Sakurai's like posts, he always does it every weekday.
Yep.
He's done like some where he mentions size, like when there's someone that big, there's always someone bigger or something in the words of that. But even then, like you pretty much kind of know he's talking about Ridley because he's like the only character people are concerned about with size. But like, and he's done like even in the what's it called Nintendo Direct, definitely it was a major tease to I forgot what the stage was called, the Spiral. I forgot what was the name. The Metroid stage.
Yeah.
And they had his shadow come like there would be more playable bosses, and they had his shadow walk across the stage. But like they didn't actually say it was Ridley. Like for the other past characters, they said it was the Yellow Devil, or like say if there was an assist trophy, they blatantly said he was an assist trophy. Like in that Mii stage, they said that thing was a boss, like a stage boss, but they didn't say like he was a playable, not a playable character. He didn't say he was a boss, and even in the silhouette, you can kind of see that he jumps like off something, but he doesn't attack. Like all the other bosses, like the Yellow Devil, he's always attacking you constantly. But in this, like, really doesn't. If it's supposed to be Ridley's not attacking at all. The thing is, I do think that's Ridley, but I think it's a meta Ridley. So like when he's like all roboted up, but I think Ridley, like regular Ridley, will be the playable character, and meta Ridley will be the boss. But and like Sakurai just did a bunch of like size and different like teases towards Ridley. So like if he's teasing this much, like you kind of, in my opinion, you gotta put him in because like you can't just like mock your fans and stuff.
Well, I guess I understand those points, but my main thing is, like I said, too big. And when I watch that screen from the Nintendo Direct, I'm actually gonna have it played whenever people view this video. It's probably gonna be playing right now, but I'm not watching it right now. But if I can remember it, I just remember him. I thought he was flying in the air, and maybe I'm wrong. I'll probably look back and say I'm an idiot. But,
I think he was flying too. But I think like he jumped and then started flying.
But I I can't eat like okay, even if he was a playable character, I mean, and he jumps and then goes straight into a fly. I don't know. To me, that all of a sudden that makes him even bigger. And I mean, that shadow did not look small. That looked like a pretty big shadow. So I don't know. I mean, say what you want, but I think if we're ever going to see Ridley, it's going to have to be in something like uh, a boss battle stage or boss battle mode where you can actually be bosses, battle against bosses together, or be the boss of the stage hazard and battle against the other players. I think that would be. I think if they did that in this game, kind of like what that leak a few weeks ago was saying, I think
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be the best case scenario here. Uh, but there hasn't been really any further word on that, so who knows? But that's the only way I could ever see Ridley being a playable character
Yeah.
if it was like that. Just I don't know, but uh, so but
Yeah.
but if he was a playable character, let's just say if he was a playable character,
Which you will.
what type of moves do you think he would have?
Kind of like how I said, like I think he'd fly. I think, like, in my opinion, when he becomes a playable character, I think he's gonna be like the opposite of Little Mac, because I know how much they want to like balance it out.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be like the opposite of Little Mac. So like to even it out, someone's playing Little Mac, someone's playing Ridley, they kind of be even. He'll be like really good in the air, but once he's on the ground, he's gonna be like really bad. Like, but I think his moves would be like maybe like kind of like fly, shoot lasers, just like a bunch of. I haven't played every single Metroid game, so I don't like all his moves, but I know he does like giant slashes, his claws. I know he shoots a couple of bombs, lasers and stuff. But Sakurai knows how to make movesets. If you can make a moveset out of Pac-Man, it's going to be pretty easy to make a moveset out of Ridley. But yeah, he can totally just like do a bunch of. He's like the opposite of Little Mac. Like I can totally see that happening. Like really good in the air, have a couple of air attacks, like maybe like just dive down and stuff like that, and like just be really bad on the ground. Like he'll get destroyed on the ground, but once he hits the air, he'll KO you fast. I can think that's how he would work.
Well, let me ask you this. See, I can't picture Ridley running across the screen. He would have to be in the air the whole time. I mean, to me, I just can't. I don't see him standing straight up. And I feel like if he were to be in the game, he'd have to be flying the whole time because it just would look weird if Ridley standing right next to Olimar, or Ridley sprinting across the screen. When do you see Ridley sprinting anywhere? He's always flying.
Maybe he'd be like Bowser, like how Bowser. I don't know if he does this in this game, like in the last game, how he kind of just like glided across, like when he was running, like he didn't actually run. He was like kind of like, you know what I mean? Like he like slided across the screen, like when he was in his running animation.
I don't know. I can't even I don't know. I've never seen any game where they have Ridley on the ground, where his feet are on the ground. And maybe there is a game. Maybe there is a Metroid game
where in other end in that.
But
he's like really huge in that game.
Yeah. So I don't know. But pretty much, do you have anything else to add?
No, I said I'm pretty sure that I myself think that really will be a new character. And when he gets announced, you guys can come back to this video and say good job, because I called it.
Well, when the game does get released and he's not a playable character, you all can come back to this video and say good job to me. But pretty much this is all we have today, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this this Ridley special. And hopefully Legend and I can do another special one day again. But until next time, this is JB Smash, and I'll see you all later.